Welcome everyone to Agent Power Huddle. I am so excited to be here. If you are looking to how to sell less and make more money, then you are in the right spot today. I am Raysun and I am here with Wendy Goss. Thank you, Wendy, for being here.
Hey, you are very welcome. I haven't been on an agent power huddle in forever.
And I am actually really excited because it is December. It is the planning time of year when we all start to think about what should we be doing this next year? Where should we be putting our focus? And one of the things that I have been thinking about, and you and I have had a couple short conversations about, luxury and what it would mean to make that shift. And we are going to dive deep into that today. But I want to start with your story. I want to know what inspired you to move into the luxury market.
It definitely was an inspiration. I was definitely fighting everything about it because I just don't feel like I was a luxury agent, and those are not my people. My friend Haley Jones, we went to a conference in Florida, shareholders, and she said, Wendy, we should be luxury. We treat all our clients like luxury. We do amazing videos, we do amazing pictures, we do all the marketing. Like, why are we not hitting that higher price point and selling less and making more? And I was like, because I'm totally fine doing what I'm doing. Like, those are my people. I love my people. And she just basically said, Wendy, you look tired. You're selling 50 plus homes a year. Like, do you want to keep doing that forever? Because you look tired. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Anyway, so I started thinking about it. She goes, just go onto your MLS and see how many expireds over $1 million there are. And so I did, and there was 350. And I was like, I'm in. Let's go. I could get a couple of those. So anyway, so that's kind of how it started.
That sounds like a really great first step. And actually, you inspired me to do that the last couple of weeks. I've been looking in on how many expireds are out there over that price point. And that's a really great way to just get an idea of the inventory that's possible out there.
Right. Yeah. And we started at 350, but like we went all the way back 2 years. So if you've never, if they never went back to market, they never sold, like we targeted them as well. So don't feel like they have to be the new ones that over 100 agents are going after. But even the old ones are good because there aren't 100 agents knocking down their door for the listing. So.
Yeah. And so when you went after these expired listings, did you do that? Did you go ahead and like jump into the EXP luxury team? Were you doing that, or were you going after expired before you were even a quote unquote official luxury agent?
Yeah, I've never worked expireds in 20 years. Ew. Right, that is not my jam. I do not want to be yelled at and hung up on, I rather, go after people that reach out to me, right? So I've always been a lead generation girl, I generate the leads and then I follow up with them because they asked me for something. So that's how I've always did my business. And then of course repeat referrals. But yeah, I've never worked expired. So I when Haley said let's be luxury, that means joining EXP Luxury. So we joined EXP Luxury that day, and I was like, okay, let's go. They look amazing. They're gonna teach us how to do this, right? And I started going to their masterminds. They had Wednesday masterminds, and I was like, okay, this is where it happens. And so I started digging in and figuring out how to do it. And they basically were saying it's all about relationships and that you should be at the socials and be the country club and, play golf and pickleball and tennis. And I was like, oh, holy hell, that is not happening. I am not a country club girl. I want to be on my Harley riding across the country with my husband. That is my jam. So, but I did see that their marketing materials are amazing. Their marketing materials are so amazing and they're super luxury. And I was like, okay, I think that could help me, right? Because I'm in Las Vegas, so all of my marketing materials have like poker chips and dice and don't roll the dice on pricing your home and don't gamble on your biggest asset. Like it's super cute, right? But and all my people love it, but $10 million home sellers don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I did fall in love with their marketing materials and they have this black book that you can put this amazing presentation in. So we just started there and I'm like, I'm just gonna do this and see if it works, right? So we just started sending out this magical black book with this amazing presentation that eXp Luxury provides. It has a picture of their home with their address on every single page and it shows them all the platforms that we're going to market their home to. And it also shows them that, we're going to run 80 plus ads to over 100 countries, right? Do I have to do that? No, eXp Luxury does that for me. So, so I love that. And we just put a nice, expired letter talking about what we do with a back page and started FedExing them to their front door.
That's great. And you actually mentioned something with the marketing materials, that being sort of a totally different set of materials that you use when you're serving luxury clients. Are there any other things that really changed when you're serving your luxury clients versus the lower price points?
Oh, I definitely had to change some things. They they are a little different than my Jeep friends. So as far as like having marketing materials to bring to the listing appointment, that's a thing. They want to feel and touch things, right? They want something that shows very good quality because they feel like if you spend a lot of money on your marketing materials, you're going to be an amazing agent. I don't know why they think that. That's just what they think. So eXp Luxury does have soft touch materials. So we have like a 4 page soft touch brochure. It's like a property brochure, but it's just super luxury. And when they touch it, they're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm like, oh,
This is luxurious.
what? Luxurious. So anyway, we definitely stockpiled that. Did I have luxury listings to put in that? No, I didn't. So I called my photographer. I said, hey, I'm going to be luxury now, so I need 10 luxury home photos for this, presentation. I'm going to show sellers what I'm going to use to market their home. So he sold me 10 and I made my own, right? So it's like a sample. And so it said like 1, 2, 3, your luxury home, Las Vegas, Nevada, right? So that they can
Mhm.
see like what we will be using. This is what's going to go out to your neighbors. This is what's going to be in your home for buyers to take with them. So I love this piece. It works really good. And then we also have a marketing plan that eXp Luxury provides. I just gave them my picture and my bio and a couple reviews and the rest was templated and it does have a soft touch cover. So I also bring that with me too. Because yeah, I was when I showed up to my first couple, I was like, well, I sent you the book. Why don't you want to sign? They want things, so bring things with you. Bring luxury things with you. So I definitely had to change that up.
And you also mentioned, I want to make sure we don't miss this. You mentioned that when you first started, everyone's like, go to the country clubs. You didn't do that. So, what was sort of the mindset set shift, and what did you do to attract the listings that were a good fit for you?
Right. Well, I don't know if they were a good fit for me, but everything over $1 million was a good fit for me. That was my target client. Right. And I say
Mhm.
over $1 million because that's kind of where it starts in Las Vegas. People in California laugh at me because theirs starts at 5 million.
Right.
$1 million is like
Right.
a tear down. Right. So wherever luxury starts is where you will start. But we started at 1 million and well, we didn't really start at 1 million. We pulled the expireds over 1 million, but then I sorted them from highest to lowest because I was going after those $25 million ones. I was like, if I'm going to spend money, we're going after the ones with the helicopter pad and I'm going to fly the helicopter in my video. And anyway, so we started highest to lowest and that might be why my first one that I landed was 12 million. So there we go.
Yeah. And you mentioned this. You mentioned a piece of the sort of the if you're going to spend money. So tell us a little bit about sort of the monetary investment. If you're thinking about switching, you're making the move, what kind of monetary investment do you have to have that's different for luxury listings versus regular listings?
Right. So definitely the marketing materials are going to cost you some money. The books, we order 100 at a time, which gets us through about 3 months because we're only doing like
Mhm.
10 a week. It's totally doable, right? And so 100 of those, and when I say books, I mean book covers, right? They don't have things inside them because each presentation is property specific. So anyway, so we order 100 book covers. Those are about 12.50, right? The envelopes, the white envelopes that also
Mhm.
have your brand on them, like everything's branded. Those are about 350 for 100. And then, about $50 for your card stock. You'll need about 200, right? For the front page and the back page. Those are the only two things you would print at home. And then about another 500 for the 4-page soft touch brochures and the marketing plans, right? The
Yep.
thermobine machine that melts the glue, that's a one-time thing. So that's about $260 or 275, I think, something like that. I think that just went up. Anyway, but you don't have to keep buying that. But anyway, to join EXP Luxury is 2,500. That gets you the, all the marketing materials. Not, I mean,
Mhm.
not for free. You still have to buy them,
Right.
but you have access to, creating them in there, which I love. And they do all the marketing on your listings, right? They do all that marketing. I just focus on Facebook and YouTube after that. So, anyway, so that's 2,500 to join EXP Luxury,
Mhm.
but I created a national luxury team, so anybody
Yep.
could join my team if they're not already on a team and get it for 9.95 a year. So I love that, and that's how I am, attracting people to EXP because there's a lot of people out there that do want to be luxury but don't know how to get there, and we have a plan. I do have a coaching program that tells everybody exactly how to do it. So there's that, and basically, those are the costs for upfront,
Right. So we're talking $3,000 to $5,000, depending on
right?
how many you bulk order of different pieces,
Right. When
just to
you
get
when you
started.
break it down to like when you order by 100, when you break it down, the book cover, the presentation printed inside it, right? The
Mhm.
card stock, the envelopes, and the FedEx postage are $25 a book. Like that's nothing compared to a
Yeah.
$100,000 commission,
Yeah.
right? So yes, it hurts a little bit in the beginning, but when your paychecks go from 10,000 to 100,000, it's a no-brainer, right? And
Yeah.
you won't
Yeah.
even be worried about that anymore. You're gonna have so much money for more bucks. Anyway, so that's kind of what that looks like once you get the listing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So we run ads on our listings on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And so we spend a little bit of money there. I spend about $1,000 in the first 30 days on marketing because I feel like having your YouTube ad running in the US and in other countries is huge because chances are a $10 million home buyer may not be in the US,
Right.
right? And when we get to our listing appointment, as soon as someone raises their hand wanting to meet with us, the first thing I do is I Google their address, right? Second thing I do is I click on video because I want to see what video that an agent did for that property,
Hmm.
and newsflash, 50% of the realtors never even did a video. And I'm talking 10, 11, $12 million listings, right? Our competition is not that tough. So number one, they never did a video, and the other 50% did do a video, and they just threw it on YouTube, hoping someone would see it, right?
Yeah.
So I love that because then when I go to the seller, I say, your agent did a video, which is amazing because video works so good. But it's been on YouTube for a year and it only has 120 views, which means only 120 people have seen your beautiful home.
Yeah.
And I say with the way I do it is we get over 100,000 views in the first 30 days. So when they hear that, they love that and you are
Hmm.
hired. right? So, and then a lot of luxury home sellers laugh when I talk about Facebook and Instagram because they don't feel like you can sell a $10 million home on Facebook and Instagram. And I just explained to them, well, I want your property everywhere because you never know where you're going to find a buyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I talk to them about us using a migration map, and we don't just run ads in our area, but from where people are moving from, is super important. So that's where we're going to be running the ads. And when you tell them that, they're like, oh, they like strategy, they like
Yeah.
strategic, and that really helps. But basically, I've already did that with my regular listings. So it just costs a little bit more as far as hiring the photographer, videographer. That price went up as well. We used to pay about 700 for everything, and now luxury is about 2,000, right? I mean, you're talking a
Mm-hmm.
10,000 square foot home. It's going to take
Yeah.
more time,
Yeah.
right? And that's to get like a full video with me in it, with me out, or one with me in it, one without me in it. And then two reels, one with me in it, one without me in it, full pictures, drone video, website, um, blooper reel. I gotta have the blooper reel because people like that more than the real reel. So anyway, but yeah, that whole package together. Oh, and then we have a whole total marketing package included in that, but that's 2,000. So I tell everybody about $3,000 your first 30 days on your listing.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's a great breakdown for anyone who's really thinking, like, am I quite ready for this? And if you're not quite ready, save up that money because you know what it takes now to get started.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And what would you tell someone if they are ready, but they're still hesitant?
So I just say pull the trigger. If this is something you want to do, especially if you're crazy busy out of your mind selling houses, like this is one way to, dive into that higher price point, and get those bigger paychecks. Like me and Joanne took every Sunday off last year.
Yeah.
Every Sunday. And I've been a realtor for 20 years. I've never had a Sunday off. So that was, that was a game changer, being able to spend more time with my husband on my motorcycle, things like that, more time to age and attract. I wanted to build that exit plan of, getting out of production someday. And this allowed me to do that. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I love that. And just because you don't feel like it, you don't feel like a luxury agent, everybody is. And and I used to say you should have experience selling houses before you hit luxury, but we have an agent on my local team here in Las Vegas. Her name is Nicole Merriman. She is a badass. She closed her first sale, $2 million listing. Like 2 weeks later, $1.75 million buyer. 30 days after that, another $1.5 million buyer. Then she got a $1.4 million listing, got it into escrow in 8 days, full price, and just closed on that. And then she just texted me yesterday, got another $4 million listing from the
Wow.
books. So you just need a strategy, you need good marketing materials, and you need a good
Mm-hmm.
coach, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do.
And so I do want to touch base because you just mentioned this. You said you didn't have to hang out at country clubs, but I'm very curious when you go to your listing presentations. Like I've heard all the stories, right? Like rent a car, so you're showing up in something fancy, like all this stuff, right? What did you change, if anything, about how you dress or how you present yourself at these listings, the listing
Well,
presentations?
the funny thing is I'm a Jeep girl, right? But and having a Jeep is not a bad thing. Jeeps are badass, right? They could be very luxury, but
Mm-hmm.
mine was like a mobile billboard. And luxury sellers, they like discretion and privacy. Who thought, who would know that? I didn't know that. That is so weird. All my friends like want to ride in my Jeep. They want to go buy a house just so they can ride in my Jeep. You know what I mean? So it was kind of weird to me when I had a seller walk out and she's like, "Ow." I won't even say what she said. Now all the neighbors are going to be blowing up my phone, right? I did not get that listing, and I had two people do that. And I was like, oh, and I went to the Lexus dealership I sat in a car. I was gonna trade in my Jeep, and like tears just started rolling down my face. And my husband's like, she just really likes her Jeep to the sales lady. And she comes over and she raises my seat and she goes, there. Now you're sitting higher, so it feels like you're kind of in a Jeep. And I'm like, get me out of here right now.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
anyway, that did not go well. And on our way home in silence, I was just devastated. I was like, maybe I'm not a luxury agent. Maybe this isn't for me. Lots of head stuff going on the whole time, right? Because I bombed 5 appointments. And anyway, and my husband's like, well, why don't we just trade your Jeep in for a new Jeep, like a 392 that has a V8 in it. And I was like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea. We like freaking went. We started looking. We headed across town, freaking found one. It was a white one. We named her EXP Luxury. We just branded the windshield. It wasn't like a total wrap. And she had like accents of gold and like the D rings are gold. Those are her earrings. I mean, it was so cute. It was like it was meant to be in those driveways. So I did have to do a little bit of that. And the funny thing is you said dressing.
Mhm.
So my first five, I dressed in high heels, in a dress. I can't walk in high heels. If you know me, you know me. And I was pretending to be someone I wasn't, and I feel like that was another reason. Like people can tell when you're trying to fake it, right? And my first one that I landed, the $12 million one, I showed up in my sparkly wedding boots with my jeans in a Jeep, right? And I landed that, and I was finally like who I really am. And they loved it. They loved me, they loved my marketing, and we just kind of connected, on a better level than me trying to be someone I wasn't. So authentic authenticity, definitely for the win.
Elevated authenticity.
Elevated, yeah.
Elevated authenticity. Yes. Okay, great. So I do want to make sure, I know we only have a few more minutes here. I want to get two more questions in. One is, I know that people who are ready, have that busy life like you did, whether you're selling 50 plus homes or more, maybe you have a team. What do you offer for people who are so busy? Because I know this is something new and I want to make sure we highlight it, that are so busy that they want to get into it, but they're like, I just don't have the time. I'm already so full.
I love that. And yes, we just rolled out our super sexy landing luxury listings with done for you service. So we have a VA that can help you do the things, right? So when me and Joanna do it, it's, she pulls the expireds on Monday, builds the presentation, sends them to the printer. The printer sends them to me. I make the books, I get them to FedEx, right? So, but the VA can help you order all the materials, get you all set up, help you with your luxury website and setting up your follow-ups and basically doing everything that you could do on a computer, the VA can do for you, right? Obviously, you can't have her building the books, but that takes like an hour. So if you have an hour a week to just build your books, get your, sticky notes on there of where they're going to, right? Because you want to make sure they're going to the mailing address, not the home address, and getting them down to the FedEx office, that's it. That's it. So I love that you brought that up because I should have did that a long time ago. I didn't think about it, and I was just trying to figure out how to give agents more value. And I feel
Yeah.
like that has been their biggest pain is actually getting it done.
Yeah.
And this will help them do that.
So if you have a minimum of um, $5,000 and 1 hour a week, then going after luxury is possible for you. Is that a great
Yep.
summary?
Yeah, that is a great summary. I love it. And yeah, perfect.
So
I know. And I know the 5,000, it just seems like a lot. And it was a lot to me too. Trust me. I I was kind of stressed out about that. But like I said, as soon as you cash our first big paycheck, it's like nothing and
Yeah.
totally worth it. And one tip of advice is just don't stop. Don't give up because, like most agents, they would have gotten, the door slammed in their face twice. I got it slammed in
Hmm.
my face 5 times. 5 times meant $1 million in commission. That's how much I lost,
Yeah.
right? That's why my people in my coaching are winning faster because they're not doing all the stupid things that I did. And I love that for them. But yeah, don't give up. And a lot of people they'll send the books out for a couple weeks. They're like, oh, this isn't working. I'm gonna stop. And don't stop. Like if we would have
Yeah.
stopped, we would have not landed 14 luxury listings in 14 months from 850 to 12 million.
Yeah.
So keep going.
Which is phenomenal. And but as you know, it does take time. Just like with any marketing thing that you choose, it's not an instant, usually not an instant reaction. It's not, you don't reach your
It
goal
usually isn't. I,
instantly.
I do
There
have
are a few
someone.
cases.
Yeah, I do have someone. They sent the books out for 3 weeks, 10 a week, and got 3 listings over 1 million. So in some areas it's like this. I had
Yeah.
someone send the books out for 1 week. She only sent six out and got $4.5 million one. So I
Yeah.
mean,
You never know. You
you
never know.
never
You just
know.
gotta commit, do it, and see what happens.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. So I want to know, what is the next step for agents who, want to take a look at this a little bit further? Besides just reaching out to you and I, because we're in the same organization, so I can help connect you to Wendy. What would you say is there any sort of last notes for if you're thinking about it, but you're not quite ready to pull the trigger, or what is that last thing you can say to help them say, here's what you should do next?
Well, I definitely feel like they just need to jump in because the thing is, you can wait and try to save money for 90 days. And guess what? You just lost a lot of business doing that. Do you know how many expireds are going to hit the market December 31st? A ton,
Yeah.
over 1 million. Look it up. It's the truth. So if you want to be ready, just do it. Figure it out and the rest will just come in. I know, and it's funny because I say that because that's how I roll. And Joanne, I launched our VA, add-on on the plane, and she's like, "Wait a minute, did you seriously just send that to 230 people?" Like, yes, I did. She's like, "But wait, we're not ready." Yes, we are. We're ready. We're gonna figure it out and we're gonna make it happen. So I
Yeah.
just that's the way I've always worked. And then you just want to implement. So once you
Yeah.
jump in, implement.
So if you're watching this in December, take action now because there's a lot that's going to happen, and Wendy can get you ready for that December 31st when all those expires hit the market. And if you're watching this later on, give us a call, reach out, text, DM. Let's make an appointment to find out more if you have more questions. Thank you, Wendy, so much for being here. Tell us the best way to reach you.
Uh, the best way to reach me is probably Facebook or Instagram messaging. We are always in our
Perfect.
DMs. Joanne, if you do have a link for a strategy call, we do have a calendar link for a strategy call if you want to have a strategy call. If you book on the strategy call, make sure that you put Raysun Frost for the referral. That way we could get her on the call too and talk about how we're gonna, make this happen for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today. This was so awesome to hear your perspective, and um, it makes me ready to write my 2026
Raysun's
plan.
joining. Raysun's joining EXP Luxury right now. I can see her filling out the
Uh-huh.
application. And the cool thing is, real quick, you don't have to have 3 luxury sales in the last 12 months to join. A lot of companies, they require that, right? EXP Luxury, they have a certification that is free right now with your membership that you can take, and that's all you need, right? Is to get that going. So don't feel like you have to have those sales. So great.
Perfect. Great last piece of advice there. Everyone, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you, Rayson. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.